Should annual physical exams for all firefighters be mandatory? Should firefighters even have an option? And although we all could recognize that an annual physical exam is a good component of any healthcare program, we still see resistance to that on the individual in some cases. Rights, all types of things come into play. But shouldn't we look at it as a fitness for duty type of situation from a management point of view?
I say yes, and I say yes because it's mandatory for our department. And initially there was some apprehension, what's going to happen if, but and unfortunately but fortunately, we had 2 members of the department go through their annual physical and had early detection of cancer. And they fully recovered. Yeah, they had to go through all the treatments, but they caught it so early. It was a minor case of cancer versus what would have been traditionally the later signs and symptoms would have probably, potentially they would have gone off work on a much more elongated case. That quickly swarmed through the department and really validated why these are so important.
I say yes. We already agreed nationally as a fire service that everyone goes home. That's part of it. So if you can save someone from dying from an illness, even if it's not dying in the fire, I think that's our responsibility to take care of our members.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think, again, it's another labor management discussion about the issues of physical exams. We allow our firefighters to have physical exams, and it's a voluntary program, and much of them do go. We insist that the medical examiner release the outcome of that to the firefighter and his or her personal physician at their choice. We get nothing except for fit or unfit for duty. And it's been challenging. Culturally, it's very difficult. There's the conspiracy theories out there that what are you going to do if you find out something's wrong with me? We've had, unfortunately, a couple of cases of cancer where, very similar to yours, where they were treated successfully and are back at work. And then we had a line of duty death due to an occupational illness about 10 years ago now, which was devastating to our organization, as it would be for any organization. And I think that really brought to the forefront the concerns about not just building collapse and those kinds of things, but the occupational exposures that we face every day and how important it is for us to consider those things. Again, going back to your comment about being courageous, it's about being courageous in all aspects of our job, making sure that we take care of ourselves and that we're still going to be there for our families when we leave for the morning shift or in retirement.
Mm-hmm. Keith, we're not where we need to be. And that sort of answers the first question you asked me, actually. We've got a ways to go. But we are talking about it more. There's better discussion. We're wearing seatbelts more. We're talking more about going to physicals, getting physicals. So we are making some progress. I think for career firefighters, the answer is yes. And I don't want to segregate the volunteers. But I think it's a more complicated issue on the volunteer side, which we've been trying to tackle for years. With the federal health care, it almost solves the problem that there's no more excuse to not get a physical. You can get a physical through that program. The bottom line is to answer, if you have to answer your question one way or the other, the answer is yes. But understand that, there's some communities in this country where if you sent the entire volunteer fire department out for physicals, you may get 10 people back and you may not have a fire department. That may or may not be a reason to do or not do it, but it's something that has to be looked at.